working. Just like so. Good to go here. One other thing, friends. Okay, that should be good. Okay, guys, I know I'm a little early today, but we've got some chores to do. We got to run to town and do a few things, so I thought I would just get this done early. Hope everybody is well and good to go. Let me log on. Okay, good to go. Sorry about yesterday. I think it froze up on me and everything was just kind of silly. I was having a lot of internet issues yesterday, so hopefully we don't have that today, and hopefully we make everything work really well. So we were supposed to get lots of snow, and a warm front zipped through, and it is a whole lot warmer than it is supposed to be. This is a funny picture. Let me pop this around. There's a duck and a bunny chilling out there right by the little pond. Some more ducks. So I think today I'm going to start off feeding the ducks and chickens, and then I'll move to feeding the bunnies. So that's the plan of action we've got today in place. I hear lots of ducks in the pond over there. So here we go, guys. Hey, Luna. How are you? I hope you are very well. I'll preempt most people asking, I am good. All right, to the front. Okay. Let's see if this works and the chickens don't knock this down. There they're really good at doing that. So I can't see the camera right this second, so it'll just be a second. I'm just collecting the food that I need for everyone. So today we are going to talk about how history is a lie. And really, we all should understand that history is a lie, that it's just an agreed upon event that happens. And unfortunately, a lot of those events may not happen the way that we teach other people or we tell other people. And part of it is because of our own memory. And part of it has to do with, those that write history or those that are the gatekeepers of history get to make a lot of decisions too. Thank you. So the first one, this is the first one that I usually go to when it comes to history and all the stuff that we were taught. You see these ancient drawings, these cave drawings, and these Egyptian drawings, and all of these things that they talk about. And then you see this great artwork that they also do. And here's my opinion on cave drawings. I think that when we see cave drawings inside caves, it's probably done by children because their parents were out actually hunting or collecting or gardening or whatever that particular culture was doing. And so they knew that they needed to keep the kids inside because they were too young or they couldn't do some of the activities that the parents were doing. So they needed to get them to do something. So they said, here, draw what you think mommy and daddy are outside doing. And so they gave them tools to entertain themselves so they would not wander out of the cave and get eaten by lions and tigers and saber-toothed tigers and all that kind of stuff. So that's my honest opinion on why cave drawings, and if you look at them, they very much look like something that a child would draw. They have that feeling, they have that total little kid feeling to you or youngster feeling. And so that's the first one, is I honestly think all cave drawings are just things that children have done, and we think that it was done by adults because, scientists are just silly. Well, that actually wouldn't be scientists, that would be archaeologists and folks. The next part of history is, I talk about this even with modern history, we rewrite it or we make it so that it's not what it say it is. So let's talk simply what a lot of people think they know about the Civil War, because some historian told them this, that, and the other. Where if you get down and you read the journals of some of the folks that were fighting, or maybe you get in there and you read some of the letters that were written back home, and you'll see that some of the stuff that we were taught is not actually the truth. We were taught certain things, and the majority of the people didn't feel that particular way. Like here, being in West Virginia, and the Virginia that this state seceded from the Confederacy to rejoin the Union, you read a lot of journals and you come across a lot of stuff about how the truth is a lot of these people didn't want to fight either side, but they felt complete loyalty to their state, kind of like we do football teams and such now. They felt complete loyalty to their state, and so they thought that, I just need to do what my state does because my state government is the ones that I trust, that are going to look out the best for us and are going to make the best decisions for my family and I. So you would have people make those type of decisions, but when you hear a lot of historians talk, And some will mention it, but a lot of times you won't hear that being brought up as much. You will hear brother versus brother, that it was about slavery, and all that kind of jazz. Another interesting thing, like where I live, we had this thing called the flat top copperheads, and they were on neither side because both sides at some particular point throughout the war completely went through and pillaged a lot of the areas around here, and they didn't care if they were Union or Confederate. They were just not from around here, so they would take what they wanted and they would leave, not caring about the local people. And that's where we have a local colloquial term that a lot of people use that says, you're from away. And they're very nervous about people that are from away. Oh, thanks for the lemons, man. Thank you for the 5 lemons. That's awesome. Thanks. We have a colloquial term that you're being from away, and there's a lot of people that are very nervous about folks, even to this day, about being from away, because they feel like people from away are just here to take advantage of you. I've been here in southern West Virginia for 15 years. I have been here longer than some of the folks that family grew up here, and then they moved away when they were kids, and then they came back later in life or stuff. And I'm still considered from away. So it's just a really interesting mindset like that. The other thing is we have this. Guineas are just super loud right now. The other thing is we have this idea that we trust all of this different types of history, when the truth be told is we don't really know. Some of it is just made up silliness. Like we talk about, we know when we domesticated dogs and cats. We can't know when we domesticated dogs and cats. We can make guesses based on timelines that we think are correct, but we really, really have no idea. It's such a silly idea to think that we know these kind of stuff sometimes. I'm perfectly fine with saying it's unknowable. The other thing I find interesting is, this is just the way I believe, is I believe that we have recycled history a handful of times, or recycled history might be the wrong word. I think that we have that history has been recycled, and I think that we've gone through a handful of different society reboots. Like, I think society has been rebooted, I want to say 7 times, but I'm not sure about that yet. I'm positive at least 3. I think I can see the fragments of past history and past culture. I think I can at least see it 3 times. But I think I'm missing some, and I think I could be combining a couple different cultures together in groups. So I think that the last reboot was probably around the Civil War. And I think that there was a giant reboot there, and we lost a lot of technology, and we lost a lot of people at that particular time. I think we had another reboot. Well, whatever the Egyptians are and the pyramid builders, that's a reboot for sure. Whatever the Atlantis is and the story of Atlantis, that is a reboot time. That is a reboot time period. I think that maybe when we look into things like the Hopi and the mound builders and some of their technology, I think that can be considered a reboot. What I don't know, though, is if some of them are actually related, or if all of these reboots are just unique. And I think we're actually on the verge of another reboot. I think that's with this this green agenda that we're going through. I think the elite know that something bad is about to happen. And I think they know that something bad is about to happen, and they are doing what they can to counteract that. And what I mean by counteract it means like making sure that they have the control over this crazy unknown event, and trying to not let folks realize what's about to happen, and so that during the next reboot they have a lot more control. I was on a radio show last week sometime, and we talked about this, about how, I think it was called Auto Hoax, but we talked about this, and we talked about how the Mars missions and these biodomes and things of that sort, in just one generation, you can get people to think that they live on a completely different planet, even though all they did is live as indoor kids for just one generation. I mean, I think that even with humans right now and our spiritual powers and what we can actually accomplish, I think they've done such a great job of making us forget the cool stuff. Like, I believe in healers. I believe that folks at one point could heal each other. I think we still can, actually. I just think that it's a lot harder to do, because you need the double mindset. You need someone that has the feeling that they can be healed, and you need someone that understands the ability to actually heal. And in our current paradigm, that's not necessarily something that is easy for everyone to grasp. Just had to check on Sylvia there. She was being extra quiet this morning, so. I also think a lot of the history we're told today is a lie for the purpose to keep us dumb. And not just like little dumb, but like, not just like, oh, the Kardashians type dumb. The whole like, this is how you could live a great, wonderful, spectacular life. Enjoy every aspect of your body and be really cool, and we can do all this great stuff and cure and not have to die of all these horrible diseases. I totally think that they're keeping us so dumb that we are the how to say this? To make it so that we don't realize our greatness and our great potential. If that makes any sense to any of you. Let me give this to the pig real fast. Be right back in just a second. Actually, I'll give this to the ducks. Okay. I'll feed Sylvia the rest of the food in just a minute. I'm going to get to the buns now, because they're looking at me and telling me how absolutely hungry they are. I mean, let's just look at modern history. I mean, look what we don't know about. Talk to some kids about 9/11 and just ask them some questions, and you'd be surprised. Ask kids about Y2K. Even ask people about what they remember about all the hype in 2012. And you'd be really surprised on how the different types of people remember different things, and how it's, not necessarily the truth. It's kind of because a lot of those people didn't get to experience it firsthand, or were way too young to experience it. And so they're going to believe more of what they were told, just as we believe what we're told. And if there wasn't enough of us out here speaking truth, then, Building 7 would completely disappear off the face of the earth, and we would forget that it ever even stood. things like I don't know, that cars used to have lead paint, or, okay, a better one, that our houses used to have lead paint, and the pros and cons of having lead-based paint in your house. Like, how great would it be to have lead-based paint on all of your walls on the exterior part of your house right now, because it would do a great job of blocking the EMF radiation from getting into your house. And, now we've got if you want to do something like this, you have to buy really expensive paint. It's not super expensive. I mean, it's expensive paint. Let's just call it expensive paint. You have to buy expensive paint and paint your house with this super special expensive paint to do that, where just 2 generations ago, we already had that in our paint to do something very similar. It's what we don't know about Tesla. How about that? We hear all this stuff about Tesla, and I like to believe that it was a real person, and I genuinely do think it was a real person. I just don't know, how much of the story is truth and how much of the story is just that, a really good story. And that's all done absolutely on purpose, to confuse us, to make us... sometimes I actually don't know. As I said that out loud, I know part of the reason, but it's never as simple as just one reason. It's never just as simple as to dumb us down and to make it so we don't have the ability to do awesome stuff. There's got to be more to it than just that on the basic level. And the reason I say that is because most everything has got multiple channels to it, and it's never quite as simple as it seems. As a person super interested in the occult, and not I'm not talking the devil worshipping stuff, I'm talking the real occult, the hidden truths, and seeing what is perfectly hidden from me. I really like to think about it and figure out why it could be hidden. And once you get to Occam's razor, there has to be more. It has to be more than just the simplest means, because for them to hide some of the truths the way they hide them, there has to be a big grand multi-layer, multi-idea on why they're hiding those. But that's my bias. I am a conspiracy theorist, and I think everything could possibly be conspiratorial. And so my bias usually leads to me trying to figure out the why. Also, my zodiac sign is a Scorpio, and I think and the why in the Scorpio also has a lot to do with it as well. Hi, Bun Bun. You're the only one in there. All the other Bun Buns escaped out. So these guys need some water. So if you, the episode yesterday where Crow was on Owen, that was spectacular. I had to listen to it in replay, because I wasn't around or I had other things I was doing when it was going on, but the replay was just really, really good. Hit the wrong button again. I do this a lot, guys. I'm sorry. I should not mess with stuff. Okay, so I got got just some buns out there to do. Oh, these guys telling me that they need some water. A little bit of food. There's some food for ya. But yeah, what I was saying is, if you get the opportunity to listen to Owen and Crow, that is definitely worth doing. Very, very enjoyable. It was very enjoyable 2 hours. Makes me look even more forward to some of the stuff that Crow is going to be talking about in the future. So I really don't remember how I found Crow, but I was really glad I did. I found him maybe 2 years ago, sounds right, something in the vicinity of 2 years ago, and he honestly replaced a lot of the other folks that I've listened to. His demeanor, how he talks, the subject matter he talks about, and just the ease of his intelligence, and just the way that he is no bullshit. I like that a lot. Hi Sylvia, I'll feed you in just a minute. Okay. Let me do one other thing again, because, that's what I do. I click at my camera. I set it up and click on it a lot, so... Okay, let's get these guys fed and watered and happy. So yeah, I noticed I just got a little reminder that Owen's on, so thanks everybody for watching, because I know some of you will jump over to that. But anybody else that's sticking with me, we will continue talking a little bit about the history and all of that craziness. Let me go head back to the bunny barn so we can give Sylvia some food. Actually, I can leave this here because that's got water. I'll grab another water container. I think I'll carry a water. I think I'll make future me happy, and I'll carry a water container over there as soon as I give Sylvia some snacky snacks. She is angry. I can hear her. Here, buns. Get some food. Oh, let's get some. I need to stay there because that's my rack to hold everything up. Let's get some corn for Miss Sylvia today. Then we'll go get some water so that future me likes past me. I really need to get this more organized in here, friends. One of these days, rather soon. Something I need to do. I am so disorganized sometimes. Always going in a million directions trying to get something accomplished. Okay. Take this with me, and the food with me, and you guys with me. Bunny, you're not supposed to be out. You're supposed to be back in your cage. What are you doing out here? Always got these escape bunnies. Buttons is out. The other bunny is out. All the silliness. All of the crazy silliness. I miss Sylvia. You guys want to say hi to Sylvia? Say hi, Piggy. He says hi. Yeah, you see that I just poured on the ground there. That's something I want to do, but anytime I used to put it in a food bowl, she would just knock over the food bowl. So, okay, let's get this water. Let's go get us some water, friends. We'll get some from the big water jug outside. Mud season. So back to the history. That's the other thing is we've dumbed down history and we've made it so simple to the point where it's almost worse than fairy tales. We've made our history so that we're not even learning anything from it. We're just barely talking about it. Like, what do you think about this? What do you know about World War I? What do you know about World War II? Then what do you know about Vietnam and Desert Storm and the war that's continuously going on in Afghanistan? Think about all that and think about what you actually know, and then talk to somebody that participated in that, in one of them. I mean, you're probably not going to find too many people with World War I anymore, but just that's really intriguing to think about. On what this story that they will tell you from their firsthand experience to what we know today to be historic truths or to historic knowledge. Look, almost all the ice is gone. Just in a couple days. It's a very gray sky day while I'm filling this up if you'd like to see. But you can see cell tower, so it's not completely foggy, just a gray day. I really don't mind gray sky days. Get this water thing filled up. Nice and tight. Put on around. I mean, just think about the lying to you about medicine and the lying to you about what is healthy to eat and what we should be eating. And the lies to you. You know, I find it even interesting, the lies just simply about that we're currently told about things like DDT. And while I don't think DDT is a good thing, I don't know if what we're told anymore about why they got rid of it and why it got banned is actually the truth. You know, and that's a crazy, crazy world to think about living in. That we don't know who to trust with anything. Ah, slippery, slippery. Okay, we're back in here, so it won't be so crazy anymore. Catching my breath for a second, friends, as I give everybody some water. So I normally think about all this kind of crazy stuff when I'm feeding and watering the chickens and everyone. I think this is a good time to sit and reflect and to talk about cool things in your own mind and to just ponder the why, the big whys. When you're not so tied up in, you know, all of the flashy noises and the news, and you can be in here in the barn, just being with the chickens and with your own mind and talking with folks. It's really good. It's one of my favorite times. That's why that's why I'm sharing it with you. I think this is a cool time to share with folks. Whew, 90% humidity in here. That is a little crazy. I'm gonna grab it. There's one right outside. So yeah, that's pretty much what runs through my mind and why we talk about history and a nice little recap of interesting stuff. Again, if you're new to watching this, sometimes the quiet stages are because I'm thinking and I need to make sure I get everybody food and water and remembering anything else that needs to go. And sometimes I'm just looking at the chickens because I'm paying attention to their health and seeing how they're doing, how they're feeling, all that kind of good stuff. We got a couple chickens here that are acting a little sick. So just trying to figure out if it's just the temperature variations or if it's just an observation or if there is actually something going on and they're not feeling well. Also, I will be putting these, I'm starting to put all of these videos up on BitChute and up on Library, LBRY, in the description below. You'll see where I link to that. Just in case something happens and you guys want to go back and watch a past episode, I'd like to have them available. It's also good for me to go back and just review things. So, well, Miss Sylvia is almost completely out of hay, so we need to get her some hay, guys. Before I go in, I'm going to give Sylvia a nice big bale of hay. Because, well, just because. We don't even need a reason sometimes. Just gonna do it because piggies like to stay warm. And they really enjoy hay. A little TV stand there, or I guess I should say phone stand there. We're going to give Sylvia some hay and probably wrap it up after that. Again, I always, if anybody's watching this right now and you have any questions, definitely feel free. If you watching this later and you still have questions, you can hit me up, xdrfirefly@gmail.com, or I have a Discord down below. You can join in on the Discord and ask some questions there. Sorry, guys. A little sneezy face there. We're starting to get some holes in this barn, which is not bueno at all. Hi, Mr. Fernando. Sorry, Piggy, didn't mean to scare you. Gotta get her just a little bit more hay, guys. In the future, I just came across a really fun video on how to make a hydraulic, I don't know what you call it. Anyways, he was creating power with water. I can't think of the name of that is right now. And it was pretty awesome. Pretty excited about trying that. So that'll be something I very much look forward to doing in the very near future. And I think I'll do some videos on that. Unfortunately, this time of year, it's not the best time of year to work on some of the videos and such. And I do need to see. I did make a bid on a little handy thing. I had somebody nice enough to hook me up with a small donation, and so I thought, well, that's at least something to help. It's a camera stabilization thing. So we're gonna get one of those up, and maybe make my production quality a little bit better because of that. Well, friends, we're heading back to the house. Thanks again for the fun chit-chat and all the lemon donations and everything else. So I will let you guys go, and I will see you on the flip side in the very near future. Have fun, friends, and till later, adios.